Welcome to the Sportz Phenz Show. The show where, just like you, we can't get enough sports.
The 47-year wait is over! And the Nuggets win it! Johnson throwing, it's up for grabs, and he's caught for the touchdown! And the Denver Broncos have taken Super Bowl 50. To the Avalanche are 2022 Stanley Cup champions! And a shot into the back of the net for Diego Rubio!
Now here's your hosts, Arthur Knight, Larry Perkins, and Austin Sorensen.
1-0 Rapids. They are champions.
Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Sportz Phenz Show. I am Arthur Knight, and with me, as always, is Larry Perkins.
Always.
And here in a second, we will have a guest host, Cole Duggan, as soon as he gets off the phone. So professional, this guy. Come on and put your cans on, man. Get on in here. Say what's up to the people.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
All right, so we are coming to you live from 4300 West Alameda Avenue in Denver. Come on by and say what's up. We're at So High Cafe. Say what's up to Vinny. Get some ribs. Get some, I was about to say pig feet and some hog maw. He don't sell that, though, people. He don't sell that. But you can get some ribs. You can get some mac and cheese. You can get some hot links. The food is really, really good. It is at So High Cafe, 4300 West Alameda, featuring Viper Pit Barbecue. Tell Vinny that the Sportz Phenz sent you. Come on by and get some ribs, get some barbecue, man. It's some good food, man. You're not going to be disappointed. All right, fellas. We're just going to get right into it, man, because the NBA just ended. Congratulations to the Boston Celtics. Say it, Larry. Say it.
Never.
Congrats
Say it.
to the Boston
Congratulations.
Never.
Congratulations.
Never.
Congratulations to Jaylen Brown winning Finals MVP.
Right. Just say it, Larry. It's okay.
Like I said, I already had a horrible month of June. This is like the worst month ever.
Larry's not waking up from a nightmare. This is a continuous nightmare that he's going through.
It's like
His team is terrible. The team that he hates the most is great.
18 championships.
They got more rings now than the Lakers. I saw Magic was crying in his beer too. He was mad about it. He was like, I cannot believe, and this is a quote, I cannot believe that the Boston Celtics now have more championships than we got. How do you feel about that, Laker fan?
Well, I can't believe it because they've been making horrible. And I would like to know, we're going to go into that subway?
Oh yeah, man.
Subway?
I just left you right in. I put the ball right in front of you.
He
All
lobbed
right.
it to
Lay
you.
it up.
You're swinging for the fences on that one.
Cole.
Yes, sir.
Well, first off,
Nice.
That was great.
I just want to thank everybody because I'm about to just go into a whole spiel right here.
Do it.
Well, my team, as you know, is the Los Angeles Lakers, and I say about the last like 4 or 5 years, we just been making, bungling buffoonery type of deals.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I spoke with Arthur earlier today, very mad,
Mm-hmm.
and these guys keep on testing my fandom. You know what I'm saying? But I'm never.
Hey, he says that in jest, but this man literally called me today, mad, like hotter than fish grease. Like I may not hotter than fish grease, bruh. He called me in the middle of the day. He was like, "Man, I know you probably sleep, but I gotta say this."
He said, "Save it for the show."
He's like, "Man, I gotta say this, man. I might not be a Lakers fan anymore." And I was like, "Whoa."
Hey, that was just that really.
I was like, whoa. You said it though, so I was like, he says this in jest, but he literally said that.
I was just hot. That was just the stir of the moment.
Well, tell him why you were hot. Tell him why you called me though.
Well, no, to everybody, Grand Shamai, whatever. But they hired a new coach, and he has no coaching experience, and he's a podcaster like we are, and so I'm
well,
like,
he is a former NBA player. He has never coached. I'll give you that. He is a former NBA player, though.
Yeah.
And some would say that he played at the point guard position like a general on the court. So, I mean.
I'd say more of a 2-guard.
Yeah, he's a shooter.
Okay.
He's a shooter.
Agreed. Okay. Regardless, he did play, right?
But my deal is, how can you hire someone that has no prior? I mean, we're going to say they got rid of Frank Vogel. All right. He won you a championship. Okay. And after you won him a championship, only thing they did was give him a 1-year extension. I never heard that, And then after that, they let him go for Darvin Ham. And Darvin Ham took you to the Western Conference Finals and won you an in-season tournament. And you let both of these coaches go for a podcaster? I mean, I love my job.
He gave up a very lucrative. I texted this to my and shout out to my guy Lucas. I don't know if he's watching, but I know he watches the podcast. And I don't mean to cut you off. You're going to continue your rant, I promise. Yeah. But I forgot to give him a shout out for our new logo that you guys see behind us, the new logo that Vinny put up before we went live. Just big shout out to Lucas. But speaking of Lucas and Mark, I had told them, I was like, JJ gave up a lucrative job to get crapped on by his other podcaster. Like, let's talk about that for a second, because Cole brought that up pre-show. Like, what's the ethics involved in the JJ hire, right?
So here's my thing. It's because I remember there was like rumors about JJ Redick and LeBron James. And I'm like, oh, looks like he found his new head coach. Because, I mean, Darvin Ham, he did decent for his 2 years, right? Got him to the Western Conference Finals. Sadly, got swept in the Western Conference Finals to the...
not sadly. Gladly.
Well, in Larry's standpoint, right?
Yeah, you winning points.
You
winning points.
Well, as a diehard Denver Nuggets fan, gladly got swept by the Denver Nuggets, who then won the NBA Finals that year. And then... decided, they won their play-in game, and then had to face the defending champions, Denver Nuggets.
Yep.
And even though that the Nuggets didn't play well, the Nuggets played better than the Lakers.
Yeah. I mean, the Nuggets pretty much look like they were crippling into the playoffs this year.
Right.
And the Lakers couldn't beat them. Like, they were a wounded animal. Minnesota took full advantage. We can't even front. Minnesota took full advantage of a wounded.
We took it to 7, though. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a team that played more games than anybody else. But we're going off the rails here, right. Larry. So how do we feel about the JJ? I mean, how do you truly feel about the JJ Redick hiring?
I don't know. This just feel like Brooklyn when they hired Steve Nash.
Okay. Experience.
How did that?
I thought that was Jason Kidd.
No, Jason Kidd. I mean, they had both, but what he's speaking to is when they hired Nash. Nash had no experience whatsoever.
When they built their super team.
They had a bag of stars with KD, the Beard. Who else did they have?
Kyrie.
Who was their third? And Kyrie, right? Mm-hmm. And they couldn't win anything with those teams or with that team. Even I think Dinwiddie was on that team too, wasn't he? Like he was on the bench.
Dinwiddie was,
and it was like they couldn't win with
bench.
That team.
No,
that's 4. You could win with 4, man. Like you really can. So how did they not?
Well, and KD was out one of those years because of his Achilles.
Well, and then Kyrie was injured off and on. I mean, that's probably how you don't win. But to your point, Larry, that's exactly what it seems like is like a hire in Nash.
You're right. I'm just going to be curious to see how the locker room is going to take this because the first thing something goes wrong is, did LeBron tell you to say that? You know what I'm saying? Because,
well, I mean, it is a LeBron hire, man.
It is.
It's a LeBron hire.
GM hire.
Yep, it is. And then, I just think, being a long lifetime Laker fan to see how long we came along and then just how the shortcomings of a franchise, based on just one player in particular, it's just disheartening, and he's literally, and I don't care what nobody says, he is running the organization. He can
talk. It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Well, the thing is he can talk, through Rich Paul, his mouthpiece, but he is running the organization. And like I was telling a friend of mine, another good friend of mine, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers would pick him 17th.
Let me ask you this, because I'm glad you brought that up, because I think we talked about it about 3 weeks ago, how LeBron is kind of holding the Lakers hostage, right? So now he's got his one piece in place. Yeah. He's got the coach he wants. Mm-hmm. Next is
his son.
See, I can't.
What if they don't draft his son? Like, what does he do? Because he has until the first. He has until the first to announce whether or not he's going to sign, right?
Right.
So if he doesn't pick that up, and the draft is not before that, right? When is the draft? I can't remember. I'll look that up.
Next week?
But
yeah, the draft is next
week.
Next Thursday.
So actually it is. So he's holding them hostage, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. What if they don't draft his son?
Mm-hmm. Well, they're going to draft his son.
Do you really think they are?
Yeah.
Where are the draft? Where are they picking in the draft? Let me see.
17 first round and 55 second round.
I wouldn't be surprised if he falls to 55.
Well, of course he's gonna fall to. You'd be surprised. Was that like a half joke or like?
Nah,
he wasn't even supposed to be drafted.
I know.
His dad is kind of forcing the issue of him being drafted.
Well, that's the thing. This is the thing about when Bronny went to USC. I said the only reason why he's going to USC is because I think LeBron kind of had a say where it's like, hey, I want you to come play in LA, but I want you to stay in state for college.
Right.
Instead of, and of
he's
course,
controlled his career.
This is my biased opinion.
Well, but he's controlled his career this entire time. He controls his son's careers, similar to the Ball family.
Dang it, I was about to say that.
Well, I mean, it's very similar.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. I think he's trying to force the Lakers to pick Bronny at 17. When he's not a number 17 prospect.
And
I like younger LeBron James more than Daddy James. Like I do. I like his game.
You like Junior better than Senior?
I do. I like his game better than his dad's. I think his game is more well-rounded. He's just not. He doesn't have his dad's size when he was coming out of high school or college. Because he didn't go to college.
LeBron was coming 6'8" straight out. Of
right. He was huge. He was a S brick house.
The only thing is that he didn't pick up the weight until he got to Miami. He was still kind of around the same size. Like he was gaining weight and he was getting muscle. But it wasn't until Miami's where he kind of like got a little physical. He got a little more built so he can be a little more physical.
Right. But man, like I don't really as a Nuggets fan, I'm kind of like
I know, man. I'm just surrounded by Nuggets, man. That's like I'm like in the like.
Well,
I'm stuck
sir, you do live in Colorado.
I do.
Just gonna throw that out there, bro. You do live in Colorado.
Indeed, you do.
So there's going to be Nuggets
Hey, I was
fans.
visiting, and I just thought I'd just stay around a little bit.
Well, then you might as well come on over to the dark side.
Nah,
come on, man.
Come on and jump on this bandwagon, bruh.
Or just take a full leap of faith and just come to the Nuggets.
Nah.
I honestly want to say that the only thing that I have an issue with is I think it's completely unethical that these two have a podcast together. And that the Lakers hired him as their head coach. Is he going to be able to hire his staff?
But remember, before the UConn,
I think
men's
Bronny
head
is gonna
coach was
hire
supposed to
his
be
staff.
the Lakers head coach.
I'm sorry, what?
The UConn men's head coach.
Oh yeah, but he turned it down. We talked about that last week because I asked Larry, I was like, why is the most coveted job in the NBA being turned down by? Like, you've never seen – I've never, in my entire 30, 40-plus years of watching the NBA, have ever seen the most coveted job in the NBA turned down.
Everybody now is using the Lakers as leverage. Coaches, players, everybody you name, ball boys, everybody.
No, man, I think that
I
people were
wouldn't even
turning –
say the Lakers. I just say LeBron is leverage.
No, I mean, like, you can't – I can try to work at a job in Staples Center. Or I'm sorry, what is it? Bitcoin arena?
Crypto.com
Crypto
arena.
And I want to apply for a job, and it was like, well, if you don't hire me, I can go play in the arena with the Lakers. They said, no, don't go. will give you the job. You know what I'm saying? I mean, anybody nowadays can use the Lakers as leverage for anything.
No,
I
but
wouldn't even
look,
say the
man,
Lakers.
look. The bottom line is that the only person that's leveraging the Lakers right now is LeBron James, because the fact of the matter is that he's picking and choosing. You said LeBron James will probably pick the coaching staff, and you're probably right. Like, I'm looking at this, and this is from NBA. NBA.com. Trying to look for your writer of this article here, but of course NBA.com has all kinds of stuff all over it where you can't just find. Okay, so it must just be a general report on NBA.com. Excuse me.
Because I was surprised the Lakers didn't do their due diligence, and when they let Monty Williams, the Pistons just recently let Monty Williams go. You know, they released him. You know, they still gonna pay him, but you know they told him he can go home. So I mean, I would at least call them and say, "Hey, is this something you would kind of be interested in?"
Right.
Like you know, but they said no.
He's got experience.
Exactly. I mean, he went to the finals with Phoenix.
Yeah, he did
know?
well with Phoenix.
You
Took
know?
him to the finals. Granted, he lost to Milwaukee during that year.
Yeah.
But what was it? Right after that, he got fired, or what was it the year after?
In the middle of the season,
In the middle of the season.
following, yeah.
And then he went to the
Because that's what
Pistons.
they brought in KD and
Oh yeah, because it was that big block.
another LeBron protege.
Well, James and Davis both hold player options this year, man. So I guess we're waiting to see if LeBron James' son gets drafted by the Lakers and
Right,
what the Lakers plan on doing.
I
I see nothing in this report that says Redick is going to be able to choose his own
He's not.
staff. But I know that the rest of the coaches that have turned down this job, that's what they've been told. You're not going to be able to choose
Yeah.
your own staff.
Right. No, but nobody. They get
The only
they,
person that's going to choose it is LeBron James.
Yeah, they
It
get,
seems like.
they get Frank Vogel. I told them they get Frank Vogel. I mean,
Yeah.
you know. And the thing is, what I heard was they hired him to be a fall guy. They did like how David Blatt was in Cleveland when they hired him, and then Ty Lue took over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that was the plan all along. The thing is, COVID hit. That was the little wrinkle in the thing. COVID hit, and the Lakers actually won in the bubble. You know what I'm saying? They say, well, we can't fire him. It would look bad if we fire him. We don't want him, but if we fire him after he won a championship, we can't do that. So that's why they offered him a 1 year. And it was, I mean, I never heard of a championship coach getting a 1 year extension after winning a championship.
Right.
And that kind of like had me scratching my head. And then later on, after the horrible trade with the Wizards for Brody, you know what I'm saying? And that's when everything, you know, unraveled. They let him go because they said he didn't know how to coach the team. It's like, I mean, you just sprung this, you know, out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
And then they brought in, you know, Darvin Ham, which I wasn't a real big fan of Darvin Ham. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a very stubborn coach, you know.
Well, I think he didn't realize his role was just to sit on the bench or walk back and forth and give inspirational speeches in between whistles, because he obviously didn't get that memo, and LeBron basically had to run him out of town.
Yeah, he said,
So this report, I did figure out, this is another Woj report about J.J. Redick being hired as the Lakers head coach. But speaking of a Woj report, our guy here, Cole, sent us a link about the Bulls trading Alex Caruso to the Thunder for Josh Giddey, according to sources. And this is also another Woj bomb. Basically, it seems like the Chicago Bulls are trading two-time all-defensive team guard Alex Caruso to the Oklahoma City Thunder for guard Josh Giddey. My question to you two, and I'm going to start with you, Cole, and then Larry, you answer this. Who wins this trade? I mean, there's no details. You know, it looks like it's player for player. I'm not reading anything that says.
I didn't see anything about like draft picks.
There, I don't think it is. I think it
I
is
don't think
literally
there's
a player swap.
I don't think there's any additional information about it, or is
Right.
it's just the two of them. That's what I just saw.
That's what it looks like to me. Okay, so who in your opinion, Cole, wins this? Is it the Chicago Bulls, or is it the Oklahoma City Thunder? Who wins this trade?
Well, if you really think about it, it's kind of a toss-up because if you look at the Thunder, they have SGA at point guard.
Mm-hmm.
They're a young, well-rounded team, and you trade Giddey, who is sometimes starting, sometimes coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
You trade him for Caruso, who's not, I'd say, the same offensively, but he's a lot better defensively, as his all defensive teams and all that.
He's better defensively than
Right.
Giddey, for sure.
But I feel like Giddey would shine better with the Bulls and where he's with the Thunder because he's got DeRozan at small forward, like.
And he might
Chicago's
leave. He's unrestricted free agent this year,
Right.
so
And like if he goes, Giddey can have all the he can have all the time he wants. He can have all the usage he gets. He can just stat up. 'Cause I
Right,
think
right.
he'll be his third here, right?
something like that.
But it's kind of a toss up if you really think about it. I think OKC kind of got the edge of it because OKC is getting kind of the same offensively but better defensively.
Well, they get a 3-and-D guard, right?
Right.
They don't need a guy
Yeah.
that can drive like Giddey does. They just need a guy that
Right.
can D up their best player on the other side.
Right. He's coming off the bench, coming right off of SGA.
Mm-hmm.
Like shit.
Well, he may play. What about this? What if they move SGA to shooting guard, and then run point with Caruso?
I don't think, in my opinion, they should have done that with Giddey in general.
Well,
but
I'll have to look to
SGA
see-
is shooting guard.
I'll have to see who's on Oklahoma City's team right now. But same question to you, Larry. Same question to you. Who wins that trade in your opinion?
Well, okay, see, I'm not going to go against Sam Presti. But I was just thinking when I thought about that, it kind of reminded me when I was watching the Dallas OKC playoffs series and see how Kyrie and Luka both dominated SGA. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, he needs some guard help. And they got them an excellent defensive guard, a backup point guard. So the thing is, I understand what Sam is doing, and kudos to him because he's turning his team into a contender.
Oh, shout out to my boy Brandon. That's in the
I was
chat
gonna
right now.
ask. He said OKC got fleeced. I was gonna ask him to elaborate a little bit.
Okay, so
Yeah, Mr. Brandon, if you would like to elaborate a little bit on that, I will read that. I did see your post. So I kind of actually agree with Brandon. I do think that Oklahoma City loses in this trade. Just for a number of reasons, but Cole, you brought up a good point. It's like what position is he going to play? Is he going to come off the bench? Are they going to move SGA over to shooting guard?
He's coming. Caruso is a backup point guard.
Right.
He's going to come off the
Or
bench.
he's a small two guard.
He's going to come off the bench.
But
and
wasn't Giddey their starting shooting guard? Wasn't he their starting two guard? So it's like you traded a one guard to back up your who's on their bench. That's what I'm looking up right now.
Right. Like I knew they were the number 1 seed, but they were like, in my opinion, they were quietly just going to the first seed. For me, they weren't picking up no traction. Well, that's because of me just mostly focusing on the Nuggets and just seeing where they're placed.
No, you're right.
Well, the thing is the division where our teams are in, not the Lakers, but the Nuggets, the division that we sent 3 from our division to the playoffs, and they were the top 3
And they were
teams,
the top 3 seeds.
which is crazy.
OKC
to me.
was 1, Denver was 2, Minnesota
I don't
was
think I've
3.
ever seen that in history either.
And I think we were all the same record, if I wasn't
It
mistaken.
was like a 1-game separation.
all right.
between the
So to answer my question, who's going to be your new shooting guard? Because the OKC Thunder already. I'm looking on their page. They already have Caruso listed. You see my screen right here, Larry. You see it?
You see how quick they are?
How is he on? How is he already? His picture in a Bulls uniform is already pasted on there. Anyway,
It's Photoshop, man.
I know
Copy
that,
and
man.
paste.
They do have him listed as a PG. But their shooting guard is Isaiah
Yeah.
Joe.
What's his height?
Who's
Who,
that?
Caruso?
Like what, 6'3"?
No, he's 6'5". He's the same height as KCP.
Alex Caruso.
KCP.
Let's
He's
see.
about 6'5".
You guys see, this is what Google's for, fellas. He is 6'5".
6'5"?
Yes.
I mean, look.
So he's your he's your prototypical point guard too. Like he's not
Right.
I mean, he did play for my team, so I think I should know.
But still, I'm just look, man. I'm just saying though. I'm just saying their shooting guard. They have SGA listed as a shooting guard. They don't have him listed as a
He's a tweener.
point.
He can play both.
But
Yeah, he
I
can
forgot
play
about
both
Lou
positions.
Dortz. I did forget about Lou Dortz.
Lou Dortz he did decent.
So he could play
He's decent.
point, even though he's listed as a shooting guard too. He can play point.
Right. Because they're all around the same like height range.
Yeah, but they're not all the same skill set.
No.
They do have Aaron Wiggins. He's okay at a shooting guard position. He needs to up his game on the defensive end. They do have Jalen Williams. I did forget about him.
They got both, right? They got
Yep.
both J Wills.
Yep. So they're still pretty stacked, man. I think the reason why they did get rid of Giddey is because Giddey's game mirrors SGA's to a certain extent.
Right.
Like
You
he's
can't
obviously
put two
not
of those
as
on the court at the same time.
exactly. He's not as athletic. He's not as dynamic. But they have the same style of play for the most part. And
From a player's, I'm sorry to interrupt.
no. Go ahead.
Because I was thinking from a player's perspective, yeah, I mean that trade did favor Chicago.
Yeah.
But I'm looking because I'm a big fan of Sam Presti, and I know what he's doing, and that's why I support the OK. That's why I say I give OKC the nod for it. But far as like if I'm just looking in, like why would OKC give Chicago Giddey?
Well, I mean, I see Brandon has responded, and I appreciate your participation.
I give a lot of respect for Brandon
Uh-huh.
because I remember I've known him for a very long time, and it
Uh-huh.
was just football. And he said, like, this year, he's like, he wanted to get more into basketball, more into hockey.
Okay.
And that just goes to show that this dude has been watching the playoffs.
No, I get it, and he's dead on point. That's what I was
Right.
going to mention is Giddey didn't perform that well in the postseason.
He didn't.
Right.
And I'm thinking that the Chicago Bulls thinking that they're getting their new replacement for DeRozan though, because they're going to need those points. Giddey's going to get you points. He is a walking bucket. And you're right, Brandon. He did not perform in the playoffs, but that was his first time in the playoffs. I wouldn't expect him to, it's kind of like I liken it to like MPJ. For his first playoff run, he was very timid. You know what I mean?
Right. It wasn't until the finals where he kind of got.
Well, it wasn't until the finals run.
Yeah.
It wasn't until last year that he actually took that step. It took a couple of years of playing playoff basketball in order for it to click with him.
Right.
And I think Giddey is ahead in the curve when it comes to learning how to be a professional NBA player than MPJ is. So I could see,
And MPJ started his playoffs in the bubble, too, where there was no fans.
Exactly. And then when it became a fan situation,
that's where
he didn't perform very well.
It's a completely different atmosphere when you came from playoffs with no fans to come and play in the playoffs. and
Well,
you
it's
have
a different atmosphere from a regular season fans.
18,000 fans just cheering you on.
It's different. It is definitely a different feel. The vibe. There is energy. In the building. I've been to playoff games and stuff. I'm sure you guys have too. Whether it's football, basketball, doesn't matter. It's a different energy. And Brandon, I appreciate you contributing, brother. Thank you for sending us posts and whatnot in the chat. And we appreciate y'all watching. And don't forget to come by 4300 West Alameda Avenue here in West Denver. It is off the corner of West Alameda and Stewart, West Alameda and Stewart. Come on by to Sohai Cafe. Get you some Viper Pit barbecue. Tell Vinny the Sportz Phenz sent you. Get you some ribs. Get you some mac and cheese. Get you some burnt ends. Or you can do it how Laker Larry does it over here with you could do ranch with a hot link. I don't know anybody who eats ranch with a hot link except for this guy. It must be an LA thing.
It ain't bad.
Have you tried it? I've never tried it.
It ain't bad.
I mean, I eat
saying
ranch
it's
with a
the
lot of
great-
things. Just
I'm
I've
not
never done it
saying
with a
it's
hot
the-
link.
I'm not saying it's the greatest thing ever, but it's something to try. I know it's pretty decent.
I put hot sauce on it, coleslaw. There's all kinds of stuff I've tried in the South,
Hot sauce, I can do it. What?
but I've never seen anyone put ranch. That must be an LA thing.
Larry's
Well,
just Larry's just a character.
enough of my praises. To me, what this trade signify is that Chicago is done. Chicago is gonna.
Oh, you think they're rebuilding?
Yes, they're gonna have their little fire sale because DeRozan is not gonna sign back with them, and they're gonna look.
So you think they know that already?
Yes. So
Okay.
they're gonna shop Zach LaVine, and whatchamacallit, they already know. I can't remember. I can't remember the
forgot
name.
Zach LaVine was on there.
Yeah, they're gonna shop him, and he's a clutch client.
Is Lonzo still on the team?
Huh?
Is Lonzo still on the team?
Or he's about to retire. You know. Yeah.
Who's that?
Lonzo.
Lonzo Ball?
Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo Ball is probably never going to play another NBA game a day in his life.
Also,
They said that
His
this
brother's
year.
pretty good though.
Oh yeah, Melo.
Yeah. Both of his brothers were pretty good, but he's not going to play.
D'Angelo?
He was okay. He was okay.
Leandro was just like a Klay Thompson.
Yeah, he was okay.
Yeah.
No, he is like that third Manning brother.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. That's disrespect. That's disrespect.
Well, I mean,
You're not wrong, but that's disrespect.
I mean, Leangelo kind of had that
No, he's right.
that,
yeah,
that
he's
stint
not. He's
that
not.
stint in China where he kind of like
Cooper Manning.
Cooper.
Oh man.
Not
Come
Peyton or Eli's Cooper.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You were wrong. You were wrong, but you're right. I can't do it with you.
It's so wrong that it's so right.
All right, so check this out. Check this out. Since we were talking about free agents right now, I mean, obviously the number one going right now, if he's not going to sign, is LeBron James and AD. They're both, have player options.
Please go.
I feel
You want
like
both of them to go?
If
Please
LeBron goes, AD's gonna go.
I know. You know AD. He can't think for himself.
80
He's a
went
winner.
there because of the Lakers.
AD
Because-
don't even know his ABCs.
All right, so I got a question for both of you.
Yes.
One as a Nuggets fan, one as a Lakers fan, okay?
Good.
And you as a Lakers fan, let's assume that LeBron and AD re-sign, okay? Let's assume they're re-signing, is all I'm saying, in this question, in this sphere, okay?
Okay.
Are you taking, let's see, where do they need the most help? Their bench, right?
Don't even get me started.
Shooting guard? Or no, because it's point guard. Your boy that you want gone.
Well, yeah, I did.
Russell?
Yeah, D'Angelo.
Okay,
Yeah,
so let me tell you. Hold on. Let me tell you who's out there right now. You got Kyle Anderson, unrestricted free agency for Minnesota. Slow-mo. I'm just
Slow-mo.
saying. Let's see. Would you want Patrick Beverly? No. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Alec Burks.
He's
New
more
York
of a,
Knicks.
he's more of a team.
He's a solid team. He's a solid bench player.
it's nobody out there.
Come on, man.
But
What
it's like
about no, there was a couple on here that you could
As far as free agency, it's no. I mean, maybe a sign and trade, but I don't see nobody like off the free agent market that can come in and.
come on, man.
He's a great.
You don't think
regular
Miles
season
Bridges?
player.
Miles Bridges, no, coming on your bench.
No.
Oh my God, I thought you were a basketball mind. Like you guys need some help on your bench.
We need help everywhere.
What about Jay Crowder?
But
I can take Jay.
I would take Jay on the Nuggets, but I'm coming to you. Stay hold that thought.
I thought you were saying the question you was giving me. I thought like to replace D'Angelo Russell. What?
I thought that's
No.
what you were saying,
Well,
too.
no, I'm trying to say like all of these players that are on the free agency market
For my team.
for your team.
Okay, that was
And I was
different.
thinking, my question was, where's your biggest need? And I know that you were going to say at point guard.
Right, that is. But
So that's why I was like, okay, so here's what you got out there.
I thought you was that's why I thought you was telling me point guards that would take D'Angelo Russell.
Well, I named all of the good point guards or the guards that are coming out right now. There's not.
Jay Crowder is not a point guard.
No, he's not. He's a forward.
Right.
So then I started to just veer off into
Yeah,
small forwards and whatnot because you were like,
Centers.
no,
No.
poo, no.
No. How dare you ask me that?
Well, okay,
ridiculous
let me
statement.
ask you this: would you take DeMar DeRozan? He's an unrestricted free agent.
I mean, yeah. I mean, far as like
So
players,
swap out D'Angelo Russell, let him go, right? Or because he has a player option, right? So he has a player option too.
Right.
Why did the Lakers sign all these player options? actually don't go down that rabbit
Because
hole.
they didn't pay him that much. I mean, that's why if you look at all their contracts, it's like player friendly. And to get that type of
That
contract,
makes zero sense to me.
look at the Austin Reeves contract, and also look at the Rui Hachimura contract.
Oh, I've
Right.
seen him.
Yeah.
Ruiz-
I mean,
It's crazy.
They're telling him, hey, if it's negotiations. Like, hey, if I'm gonna give you a hometown deal, you're gonna have to give me that player. You know,
Okay.
right?
All right. So DeMar DeRozan is who you think your team should be targeting right now.
Yeah, just bring
Okay.
Mr. Compton back.
All right. Cool. So Cole,
What's up?
Don Coleone,
Yes, sir.
as I call him.
Okay.
All right. So we all
Brandon,
know.
don't use that nickname.
We all know.
Damn.
We all know that that KCP is most likely not going to re-sign, even though I've seen reports lately that he is going to re-sign just to make another run. He doesn't need that bag, et cetera, because he did play for the Lakers at one point in time.
We can sign him for 1 year.
If he
wouldn't-
if he wants to, if he declines
Right.
his option, he has a player option as well. If he declines that option, he can walk in free agency just like Bruce Brown did, right? Let's assume he does. Let's assume he walks away. The Nuggets still have the best starting five, even if they slide somebody from the bench up. They still have the best starting four. Okay, right? So number one, who would you off of this list? And I'll read a couple of names off for you
All right.
Yeah,
that you're going to take with the Nuggets. And then also follow-up question of who on the bench needs to either go or step up their game for the Denver Nuggets. But let's start with the first question first.
All right.
Obviously, the first question. So let's see some shooting guards. We've got Kyle Anderson, but he's not really a starter, right?
We can take him on the bench.
Well, I would take him on the bench as well.
Slow-mo.
Unfortunately, the Nuggets don't have the room for all of that.
No.
That's why my second question was like, who's going to have to step up, or
Right.
can they trade away? Malik Beasley is going to be available. Okay, can they bring him back? I would say no, but let me keep going. Let's see. You've got Miles Bridges, Alec Burks.
What is he, a 2-guard?
Mhm.
2-guard? Okay.
Mhm. Well, I mean that's what KCP played.
He's a bigger. We can use him.
Okay. You got Spencer Dinwiddie, but he's more of a stretch 3. But I think he could play the 2.
I'll take him as a 2.
He could play the 2. That's about it, man. Because the next best one is like, and I think he's a forward too. Is Danilo Gallinari?
And I'm not bringing Gallinari back to Denver.
Gary Harris. Gary Harris is unrestricted free agent.
I wouldn't bring him back.
Okay, I need a good reason behind that because G Money was my guy. So
Granted, he was good.
I would even take him
but-
on the bench. Like,
I could take him on the bench, but I want to put him in the starting spot.
okay, that's fair.
I would not put him back in that starting 5.
Okay, and then last one, Gordon Hayward.
I can see him on the bench as a 3, as a backup 3.
He does play the 2.
He only gonna play like
Right,
30 games.
but yeah, that's the thing. Is like he's been injury prone ever since that ankle injury.
Oh, that's fair. That's a fair assessment. Good assessment
He
there.
was great in Utah, and then that first game against Cleveland in Boston, and he
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
snapped
He
that
got hurt
ankle.
when he went to. That's the.
Granted, that's not
leprechauns.
his fault. That was just a nasty injury.
I mean, people are gonna call me crazy. I mean,
You
they
are.
do that anyway.
Yeah. that's what I'm about
But
to say.
I honestly, and I'm just being real here, I would not be mad if they did bring back Malik Beasley or G Money. Like, I would not be mad. It's more of a
that dude is
nostalgia thing for me. G Money, before he started getting all of the injuries, man, he was that shut you. He was KCP before KCP was KCP. Like, he honestly came into the league early. I think he's older than him, or maybe not. But either way,
that game winner.
like,
he had a nasty game winner, dude.
he until he started getting injured, man, he was really. I love G Money. I would not be mad to see him back. I would not put him in the starting position. I'm not that crazy. I'm not on the brink of lunacy, people. But I would not be mad to see him. He's getting there.
He's getting there.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers sign him.
Who?
Gary Harris.
Gary Harris. Bruh, y'all need a 3-and-D guard coming off your bench.
Well,
That was a part of your problem against the Nuggets.
Yeah, because the only person that was coming off the bench was Reeves, and he was just a point guard. He wasn't a 3-and-D.
You don't really have the guard play coming off the bench. You really don't. I was just sitting. I was just thinking. I was like, what? Because I did like our guards we had, especially when they did when they signed. What's his name? Little. He reminds me of Walt Frazier. Oh, Dinwiddie.
Walt Frazier.
Hey, I'll take Dinwiddie too, man. I'll take Dinwiddie.
I'll take him off the bench.
But he said he wanted to stay in LA. He said he wanted to stay, but that. What you want and what you get is two different things.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's always a change.
But
well, speaking of sometimes you don't always get what you want. There has been something that came to light to me about the new CBA that is in the NBA that I honestly, I'm just being honest with y'all, I was not aware of. And I sent this to Larry the other day when I became aware of it.
Right.
But, the minute that the NBA final game or the finals ended, certain unrestricted free agents or any unrestricted free agent was allowed to negotiate with their former team or the team that they're on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say you don't always get what you want or how that ties in is because just because they have an agreement in principle, it's not signed and it can't be signed until the first, right?
It's like legal tampering with your own team, if you really think about it.
Well, and they used to do it anyway.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
But now it's legal.
Now they're vocally saying like, hey.
Well, they got tired of people with saying, well, they really not.
But here's why I bring it up, guys, because it gives the players a little bit of leverage, okay? It's weird to me.
But they already had the leverage.
Nah, this gives them even more leverage because now they can negotiate with the team. They can see how much the team that they're already on wants to give them. Right, in form and fashion, not necessarily like talking behind closed doors to where the team can't be held, because they could still. It's a verbal agreement, but the player does not. Neither the team nor the player actually have to go through with it until it's signed.
For a fact that these guys they start talking unofficially. They start talking to their teams after the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing that's going on now is the NBA saying you can talk to your team after the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Once the NBA says it.
But they used to have to do it.
Right. You can do it.
It used to be they had to wait until July 1st.
Right. It's already
before they could even negotiate a deal.
They already talked, and the player went to other teams and said, well, they're going to give me this. What you going to do? You know what I'm saying? And then they say, well, we can offer you this, and then they can make their decision, during, at the end of the moratorium. But now.
Or June 30th, excuse me. I just want to correct myself. June 30th is when, let's say Pascal Siakam, who actually did, I believe, come to an agreement with the Pacers on a contract in principle, right? It's a verbal contract right now.
That was such a great trade by them, too.
But that was really smart.
That was such a good trade by them.
Yes. That was a really smart trade.
They did really great for that trade, especially to get them to the Eastern Conference.
Well, after having a disappointment in signing Bruce Brown was so hyped, and I love Bruce Brown. Don't get me wrong, and I wanted him to stay, but he fit in our scheme here for the Nuggets. He's not as great as they signed him for, and that's why they traded him for Pascal Siakam.
Like kudos for getting his bag, but as soon as he left, I was like, I don't think he's going to perform in the way that we use him in our scheme.
No, he's a systems player.
He was good for this system.
Right.
But the reason why I mentioned that is because on June 30th, if Pascal Siakam wants to entertain other teams, he has to wait until then. And he can use what he negotiated with the Pacers as leverage to get a better contract out of other teams that want him, because he will be an unrestricted free agent. What does Pascal play? Does he play? Is he a shooting guard?
No, he's small forward.
Yeah, he's a small forward.
Okay, so the Nuggets wouldn't be. We can't afford him. The Nuggets can't afford him, even if he was an unrestricted free agent.
He's probably going to go for a max contract.
But the reason why I bring that up is because what team could use a small forward? A starting small forward. An athletic small forward. The Lakers, Larry. The Lakers. Stop thinking about it.
We can use a whole new team, man. We need an identity. We need.
But man,
That's
I
if
could
LeBron
see.
wants to go to the 4.
I could see a Russell.
I need to just like.
Imagine a Russell
No.
Reeves. But listen. Imagine a Russell Reeves, Siakam,
Siakam is awesome,
James, Davis starting 5.
Or you can just go big man.
Well, Siakam comes. He doesn't just come with scoring, man. He is a versatile scorer.
He's a
he played
good
deep.
defender too.
He can also. He's a stout defensive player.
Right.
He can also play your stretch 5 if you were playing small ball against a team like Golden State,
Right.
which the Lakers have had issues beating in the past few years.
Right.
They've had problems beating them.
I'm just curious to see the scheme that the new coach is going to implement. So, right, everything, all this is fine and dandy until we get a actual type of system, but
Right.
Yeah, but Siakam is nice. What is that? The another guy from Toronto that went to the Knicks. Anunoby or something.
OG
Yeah.
Anunoby.
Yeah,
OG
man,
Anunoby.
those guys, man.
He's
I mean,
nice.
Toronto.
He's injury prone though.
He's more of a 3 and D
Toronto
guy.
has
He is a 3-and-D guy,
Toronto has an excellent farm system.
just like the Nuggets do. I mean, a lot of the players that are great role players came out of Denver. They come out of Minnesota. They come out of Toronto.
Right.
And Toronto won their championship by making one trade. Similar to what the Nuggets did, they made the one trade to get AG, and that was kind of like their piece. And now you really do just have to kind of throw solid role players around your core 3 or 4 with MPJ
For a few more years.
and you can
Right.
get at
That's
least
the
2 or 3
formula.
more
That's
championships
the
out of
formula.
this
And
team.
make runs, make deep runs for the next 2 to 3 years.
And I think Indiana has that same blueprint. They basically they thought they were doing that signing Bruce Brown in the offseason. That wasn't the case. So they made a trade. And that trade actually propelled them almost to the championship. Like, they gave Boston a fit. Like, Boston is Boston, and Boston came legit.
Yeah,
But
like,
Indiana did give them a fit. They played them quite well.
we won one
like,
game.
They won one game, but I'm just saying they played them well. It
They
wasn't
lost 4 games in the whole playoffs. The Celtics. But like I said,
Exactly.
I don't really want to talk about them.
Then why you bring it up? What were you going to say, Cole?
I was like, Boston.
See what that
Boston
said.
won the series, but Indiana put up a fight.
They really did.
It
They
was
were-
all.
it was scrappy.
It was a dog fight.
It was just like the Lakers Nuggets.
I loved the dog of the fight in Indiana. They were injured. They were beat up.
Everybody. was-
Yeah, but they like them and the Knicks were the worst. Like, honestly, the Nuggets had bumps and bruises. The Lakers had bumps and bruises. Even the Boston Celtics kind of
No.
had bumps and bruises. But New York and Indiana, they had more than bumps and bruises.
that was a
2014
terrific
has
series
been the
too.
most
Yeah.
injury
Between the two.
plagued playoffs, and I can't even.
Well, they got
recall.
rid of load management. And I've been meaning to talk about this.
Man.
We're running out of time here, though. But I just want to say that they took away the load management. And though if full disclosure, I hated load management.
I
hated it.
I did too, but
But now I understand it.
What is that saying to these new players? I mean, you guys can't stand the grind. I mean,
I mean, the grind is
it's a grind.
it is.
It is a grind.
It
and
is.
And you can't be all.
And I'm old school like you,
Care of-
man. I'm old
yeah.
school like you. I think,
See-
and we grew up on a different era of basketball to where they were bruisers,
That's right, Cole.
Hey, I'm right there with you.
No,
This-
But
this
you know what?
league-
You
this
know
league
what
needs
though,
to stop
Larry?
being soft.
This is where I split with you though. This is where I split with you, and I'm going to say this because of the fact that I would rather see star players in the playoffs than in the regular season.
I agree.
Then we need load management back.
It's
Because
just like with Kristaps, too.
having Luka Doncic literally hobbling on the court during the finals was hard to watch. It was an unfair series whatsoever. I mean, Boston was most likely going to beat them regardless. Let's just say that out loud. But the fact of the matter is, I think that Dallas, if they had the load management that years past has used, I think they would have been able to save Doncic. Same with the Nuggets. They would have been able to save Murray and Joker. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody was getting hurt.
Everybody. You're right. This was the most injury-prone, and everybody was limping through this entire playoffs.
I mean,
the Clippers, AD
was limping, but he always limping.
Well,
that dude's always
China doll. He's a China doll. You breathe in his general direction, and he cracks.
It's always something with his knee.
It is. It's always his knee,
And is it always
his
against
ankle,
the Nuggets?
his
it's like
back.
every time I watch the Lakers Nuggets game, it's always like, oh look, he's grabbing that knee again.
Yeah, knee, ankle, back. Cool. That's good to know. So his knees, ankle, and back are always hurting, dude. So, like I said, you just breathe in AD's general direction. He falls down like, and he breaks. So that's why this guy wants him gone. Larry's like, I need this guy off my team.
I wouldn't want him.
I mean,
I definitely, when he went to the Lakers, I was begging for the Nuggets to get him so he could play power forward next to Nikola. Like, oh my God, that would have been that AG that it would have been a little different because AG's more of a lob and dunk kind of guy. But
you can still do that.
That dynamic when he went to the Lakers that year, I would have taken him on the Nuggets.
It's that
now.
I don't think AD and Jokic would have the chemistry that Aaron Gordon and Jokic have.
At that time, I think they would have. Jokic creates chemistry with players.
Well,
He really does.
He's a 3-time MVP.
I'm just saying he creates that dynamic with other players. So I do think that 5-4 dynamic, that give and go, the fact that both can shoot from the outside, I mean, that would have been nightmarish.
And AD playing a little bit more defensively.
It would have been very
too.
similar to Minnesota right now, right?
You want him? We can trade you for him.
No, I'm cool.
We're
like I
good.
said, the year he went to the Lakers, I would have taken him.
No.
The 360 team.
I'm good. I'm good.
The 360 team.
Yeah, I'm good. But I did bring up, I did not know that they could start. I did not know that was a part of the new collective bargaining agreement in the NBA.
Man, you're always late to the party, Art.
Well, shoot.
You late for the break dancing.
I just heard this
you
today.
late for. You just.
I'm telling you, this was a little known thing, and you look at me in my eyes trying to tell me you did know.
You need to.
Then how come you didn't bring it up?
Talk to me, man. Just talk to me.
How come I brought it up to you?
I can explain this stuff to you. Bro.
Whatever, man.
Larry's just
sit down, man. I go over
he
some
just don't want.
things.
He don't want to actually just say, "Oh, Art taught me something."
Larry's just pulling the strings around.
I wish
here.
really was.
Yeah, he's poking the bear is what he's trying to do. And
This
it's
is
all
what
good.
happens when
Yeah, man.
the
I got
three of
10
us
more.
have-
I got 10 more days until this month's over.
I tell you this, Cole.
What's
I tell
up?
you this. There was nobody more happy when the Nuggets lost against Minnesota this year in Game 7 than this man
No,
right
it
here.
wasn't.
I was
did
so
not-
depressed.
I didn't know.
This
I
dude,
did
I was
not.
so
when I came in,
No.
I came in with my Nugget stuff on. He was like, "Yeah, Vinny and I were taking bets on if you were gonna wear your Nugget stuff today."
You still got a rep?
I came in full dress, Nikola Jokic, everything, man. My Nuggets are my Nuggets, dog.
No,
Period.
I was hoping.
Period.
The
We
Nuggets,
still the champs.
the Nuggets were the only team that I felt that can give Boston a run for their money, and you guys
yeah.
I'm calling it right now. But it should have been Boston, Denver.
You
last
guys
year,
disappointed
it
me.
should have been Boston, Denver this year.
year.
So most likely it's going to be Boston, Denver next year.
Boston, because I watched both games.
We'll see how.
during the regular season with Boston and the Celtics.
Oh, you know who I want? You know who I want the Nuggets to actually chase is
Don't say
Nicholas.
Jade.
Nicholas Batum coming off the bench.
I was like, oh yeah.
Nicholas
yeah.
Batum. Nicholas Batum would
From
be dope.
the Clippers? Yeah.
Well, he plays for Philly right now, but he's
the
an
76ers. Okay,
he'll be
my
an
bad, my bad.
unrestricted free agent coming out of this year on June 30th.
We could take him as a 1 year. We could do a 1 year then a player option.
Exactly. Just like Bruce Brown, just like they did with what's his name, Holiday. You know what I'm saying? I could see that.
We do have Justin Holiday.
Well, no, we don't. He's
No,
an
we
unrestricted free agent.
Yeah.
So and they may not bring him back. I could also see a Jay Crowder coming off the bench
I would love
for the
Jay
Nuggets.
Crowder.
Basically what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is the Nuggets need a bruiser coming off the bench. I love DJ, I do, and I won't mind if they keep him.
What
but
about Andre Drummond?
I wouldn't.
Nope, I wouldn't like him honestly.
He's a bruiser.
You're gonna have to. He is a bruiser, but you're gonna have to make a really good argument because that dude, he's kind of like
he's a stellar defensive player, but
he's kind of like the awful tower. To me, he can't create his own offense.
No, he can't. Of course not.
he has to rely on
and
rebounding
and that's
for
the
that.
problem on our bench already. That's the problem right now is nobody on the bench can create their own offense. So the
Right.
Nuggets are constantly having to stagger Jamal or Nikola with the second team so that there's points being scored
Right.
during that time. The defensive prowess of our second team is second to none.
Right.
Like they know how to make stops. They just don't. Nobody has that killer instinct right now. I would rather get Drummond's not bad. Drummond's not a bad choice, but like I said, it's just the Nuggets don't need another person that doesn't know how to create their own offense
Right.
coming off the bench.
Jay Crowder can get you 15 off the bench.
Yeah.
Batum can get
Well,
you
he's a
15
3-and-D guy.
Exactly.
He's a 3-and-D guy. So
Batum is also a 3-and-D player. We could take him as a 4.
well, that's why I was
the
like
four spot. Yeah.
I would love to see Batum play for the Nuggets, and the only reason why I say that is because he also came up under Coach Pop, right?
He did.
Who also came up under Coach Pop, the Denver Nuggets head coach.
Yeah.
That he's from that
Mike
tree.
Malone, yeah.
So I don't mark my words. You heard it here first on the Sports Fiends. Don't be surprised if the unrestricted free agent of Batum is picked up by the Nuggets, possibly because the Nuggets are about to lose some bench players too. Reggie Jackson's gone. All of these players are going to be leaving. They'll probably have to let DJ go. All of them guys are on 1 or 2 year deals that are up now. And there does need to be some fresh blood, guys that can actually play. Give Jokic and Jamal Murray a breather, and AG a breather, even MPJ. These guys had to play heavy minutes, and Coach Malone made it very clear that was on him, and he knows it. He's got to play his younger guys, but they also do need a veteran guy coming off the bench that he can trust to play with those young guys. That is not Jamal Murray, MPJ, AG, or Nikola Jokic, right?
Yeah. That's what I love about Michael Malone.
Yeah,
Where it's like if it's his fault, he'll take the blame.
he owns it. He owns it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And that's a Pop thing. That's a Coach Pop.
It is.
Where
It
it's
is.
like, if he made the decision and it was wrong, he said this was my decision. It wasn't the result that I wanted. And he will always, whenever he's mic'd up too, he's never like yelling at them like, all right guys, what do we need to do?
Well,
what's going on?
I was called crazy by a coworker of mine. Big shout out to Jeff. I'm pretty sure he watches this podcast.
Jeff
but
Williams?
What's that?
What Jeff?
Don't be calling people's last names out on the
Sorry.
air, man. What's wrong with you?
There's a lot of Jeffs.
But I know. That's why I said it very vague. Anyway, I had mentioned to him that I kind of wanted the Nuggets to go after Kyle Lowry. Now, I know the Nuggets have a point guard. I know this. But he would be a better option. He can generate offense with the kids that we have coming off the bench. And I don't know if he would sign with us. I don't know if he would sign with the Nuggets because he's still of that caliber of starting. He can still start in this league.
My thing is, how much would we have to?
That's another thing. Like
how much would we have to give away for him?
Well, I was just looking at it, and the Nuggets are about to lose a lot of like two-way players, like players that are taking up cap room and spots on the. Now, most of them are restricted free agents. Let's see. Or Monte Morris. Would you want Monte Morris? That was the name I was going to ask you earlier in the show, and I know we got a wrap here, but Monte Morris was the backup point guard for years. Now he plays for Minnesota, but he's going to be.
I'll take him back.
He knows the system.
I'll take him back.
He's defensive minded. He doesn't turn the ball over. I think
he's
that
small,
would be,
but he knows how to play defensively.
Right.
On
He's
the
more of a
backcourt.
feasible. He's more of a feasible get for the Nuggets.
Right.
All right. Anyway,
He's a pest.
that's going to do it for us today. Big shout out to Vinny behind the boards. Come on down and say what's up to him at Sohai Cafe, 4300 West Alameda, off of Alameda and Stewart. Get you some Viper Pit barbecue, some ribs, some hot links. Don't put ranch on it.
You can do whatever you want. This is a free country.
But
Thank you.
that was applause for me, not for you,
No, it's
sir.
for me. You can just drown that sucker. Just drown
Because
him.
Vinny had to go out and specially buy ranch for, we won't say any names, but he had to specially buy ranch. But anyways, big shout out to Cole. Thanks for coming by, my guy. We'll have you on again.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
well,
Yes, sir.
And on behalf of myself
rookie.
and the Sports Fiends, thank you all for watching.
Okay.
All right, we're wrapping,
Way
fellas.
behind
Just wait.
here.
We can
Guess
have
what?
this conversation
Guess
after
what?
we wrap.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
music means shut
Trust me,
up.
I'll be back.
Just waiting.
I'll be
All
back.
right, y'all. Peace. Y'all over here talking.
He was talking.
Oh,
I was getting at him.
if we were live on the show, the producer would